EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a very loud and a very sold-out Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Strap in, the first of 3 on this Sunday. What a day we have in store. Super Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's Nix to throw right away. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And that certainly could be a sign of things to come because they're blitzing to start this ball game. And it works for them there as they force the incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Nix to the air. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Broncos first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Nix. And that's into the hands of Eckler. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. To throw, here's Nix. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Nix. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. They work now on 2nd and 9. Throwing Nix. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start, because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Again, it's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down. Now it's Nix. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it, looking at a 4th down and 2. They run. It's Williams. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Burrow will throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now inside the 25. Jamar Chase. And all the way in for the Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, 85 yards. And the Bengals will strike first here, this wild card matchup. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Here's 2nd and 10. Nix from the shotgun. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another 1st down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
Up the middle, it's Williams. To the 43, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 8. They run it again with Williams. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. On third down, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On fourth down, Matt Ariza is sent on to punt. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind to, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
The slot man in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
This one complete to Scott Miller. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. They're passing here. Joe Burrow finding Miller once more, complete. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To the air again, Burrow. That is caught. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it.
He scored their touchdown earlier, and this had a chance to be another. This secondary scrambling for answers, looking at each other, trying to figure out who is going to put the clamps on this guy, because right now, he's absolutely shredding them.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Right back to Brown. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
Set, ready. 11, 11, 11.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Chase Brown, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Nix. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, the incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Zach Ertz, the man in motion. From the gun on 3rd down. Nix taking a deep shot here for Hardman. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Broncos, nothing.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Here we go. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now it's Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
A short throw there pulled in by All. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. That's to his tight end, All. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now it's Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Nix. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Nix. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, Broncos.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's intercepted. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Here we go.
Burrow looking to pass. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bengals drive about to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th.
Here we go. 12, 12, 12.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
Now throw right side here going to be incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick six. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw.
He'll look underneath and finds Brown.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to...
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That one caught by all, the tight end.
It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
On one, ready?
Zach Taylor, a new breed of head coach. He's going to go for it on 4th down. Going quickly out to the right side. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
11.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And this is going to miss left. I don't think it even got there either. It's no good either way, but there is a flag.